Welcome to the 8th episode Capital TV Midweek Update. My name is JC from TradersTruthReview.com. As usual in our midweek show, we will show you the action that great traders and investors always do when planning their trading plan. Can you see what is happening in this picture? The person and stock code ABC. What is he doing ahead of the others? Is he in a queue or simply he arrives early to get ahead of the crowd? Can you tell me the answer? What's the action in this picture? If so, send your answers to jccapital@gmail.com and I have a prize for the right answer. This week for midweek outlook, we have the market showing that potential upthrust here. Now remember, the market has been marching on an uptrend for the 8 consecutive bars or more. This is highly unusual, as good traders would know this is anticipating good profit taking to come. It is no surprise that last week was the closing of the first quarter 2013 as institutional and fund managers buy up almost everything at the end of the quarter and end of the year to prop up their performance benchmark. As such, for the most part of this week, including last Friday, we saw profit taking after this upthrust here. And notice the white spread bar here with the topping tail at the top. Please pay attention to this kind of bar if you see this, because it denotes the sign of weakness. What is a sign of weakness, or sometimes known as SOW? Sign of weakness is a situation where supplies overcome demand and the buyers were not present to support the market. In this case, is 1860 to 1855 level. The good news is, notice the green bullish zone here. Again, special emphasis here. We are now in the early trend of this bullish uptrend. And for now, we have this unconfirmed SOW. Should the market fall below 1850 here, right, then we expect the market to move sideways with a bias to the downside. Meanwhile, there is a high opportunity for the market to correct itself, which is a good time for this week. Now, long-term investor should see this as an opportunity to accumulate good quality shares during these minor corrections. Yes, you heard it from and see it first at Capital Midweek Update with JC for KLSC foreign funds flow. Right? In this site, TradersTruthReview.com, we noticed the blue line that you see here is the daily foreign funds net buying, and they are turning upwards. On Monday, we have almost 195 million net buying, and this is very positive as far as I can see. We had not had a string of net buying from foreigners, as I was assuming that after the first quarter of 2013, the net buying would diminishes, because this is due to window dressing. Now that the window dressing is over, foreigners are still buying. Isn't that interesting? And this is good. For those of you who's just joined us, the blue line that you see here, right, is the daily buying and selling of foreign funds, while the red line that you see in here is the total accumulation over 5 days, and it's important to see the trend of the buying. On the top right side corner that you see in here is what we have reviewed last week. Now notice the green fund here flow is going up, right? And if it's turning down, that means it is selling. But very important, it's turning upwards. Next week, we should see the continuing of net buying by foreigners. You hear it first from me, JC at TradersTruthReview.com. For our midweek stock watch, it's definitely going to be UEMS or Bursa Malaysia code 5148. UEMS is a merger between UEM Property Arm and the well-known property developer in Mont Kiara, previously known as Sunrise. Today, both of them fall UEM Sunrise. Right now, that you see from this chart in here, UEM Sunrise is, matter of fact, is the flagship company for the real estate investment property arm development businesses of UEM Group Berhad and also the Khazanah Nasional Berhad. UEM Group is wholly owned by Khazanah and they are the investment arm of the government of Malaysia. What does that mean? This is mean this green thing that you see here, the green bullish zone, is indicating strong backup support from the government of Malaysia, which is good because they also back up our Bank Negara. As you can see here, we got many green arrows, okay, from a volume spread analysis chart. So that is actually helping the market to support. So looking at this trend line, see here, the blue trend line here, it is pointing to the upside. You have a nice, also what we call a saucer shape here, which is a bullish indicative, and we are noticing the current trend line here, especially in the property and construction sector, lately has been very bullish. According to the volume spread analysis, once the accumulation is over, the market will start its markup, as we can see it here, 2 ringgit to 2 ringgit 23 cents to 2 ringgit 25 cents. How high can UEM Sunrise goes? There is an all high here, but it's not shown in the chart, but it's indicative around 2 ringgit 65 cents. A possible 10% gain from here if we are lucky. The return on equity on the fundamental side, we are looking about 9 to 10%, which is not really that fantastic. And the dividend yield is also between 1 to 1.5%. Nothing great, but looking only from capital gain, maybe from 225 to 260. You get it first from my site, traderstruthreview.com. Now, we turn our attention to last week's stock watch, MRCB. You have a breakout here on the upside, and that's good, and immediately followed by retailer taking quick profit in succession. The market then was sustained by this small little character T, or better known as TEST. This is certainly healthy as we see possible more upside to come. As always, have a stop loss as there are no certainty in the market. Now, for this week, the message of the day is from a famous VSA guru better known as Richard Wyckoff. And he said, the only fundamental factors that really counts is in the stock market is the law of supply and demand. In many ways, this is certainly very true. The market is dominated by this fundamental law. If the demand overcomes supplies, you have movement of up prices. And if the supply is plentiful, then you have pressure on the downward prices. Know the current demand and supply for your stock. Remember the phrase, no one cares more about your money than yourself. Let Capital TV be the market expert, inspire your success for tomorrow. That's all the time that we have. Thank you for joining us, and we will review the Stock Watch UEM Sunrise next week, same time, same place. Remember to send your answers or reply feedback to jccapitaltv@gmail.com for what you see here, the name of this face. We welcome any question and feedback. My email is jccapitaltv@gmail.com and my website is traderstruthreview.com. So that's all the time that we have. I thank you for your participation.